Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. This is Luna and Friends, where we talk about body, mind, and spirit alignment, along with just living here on Earth. So, to get more into me, I am a candle maker, aka a Chandler, and you can find our products everywhere between TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Luna's Enlightenment. And we also focus on mind, body, and spirit alignment and helping others reach their full potential. So, one of the things that occurred to me was I went through this, what people call a spiritual awakening. I call it a holistic transformation. So, what happened was I had a severe near death experience, and I completely shattered the whole left side of my arm. I snapped my elbow in half, I dislocated my shoulder, and I broke my wrist. This led me to learning how to live my life on my own. Basically, I had to do everything except for wash my hair. That was one thing I could not do. And I had to have friends come and help me do that. And that was the only thing that they came for. Everything else, the pain management, learning how to regain my strength, that was all on me. And I feel like I've succeeded. And because of that accident, that led me questioning my life. The things that I was doing, where I was at, I knew that I was so much more than where I was at that current moment. So one day I decided to go on YouTube and put in the search line spiritual awakening. I have no idea. I never even heard of that concept. It just literally came to me. So I did it. I was on my TV and I sat in my French room on my couch for 2 days watching videos from Aaron Dowdy. And I remember walking outside, and this was in the summertime. So I just walked outside and I took this deep breath of fresh new air and I felt my rebirth. And since then, I have joined so many groups on Facebook and TikTok, Instagram, and I've met so many people. But what really started was a group from Aaron Dowdy and another YouTuber, Victor Odo, and it's called the Full Time Purpose Group, where it's basically people who went through a spiritual awakening who wanted to create their own business. So when I joined that group, I met a few lovely ladies and we all connected. And one of them is my guest for this week. And she is returning. This is her second time being in our show. So we're doing kind of like a recap. And she's amazing. She has her own organization. She does readings. She helps other people. And I'm so glad that we connected because she's helped me go through certain parts of my life that I needed a hand to just be there and someone to just speak to and someone who I knew was able to relate to me. So today, our guest, who is going to give an amazing introduction and talk about her life, my friend Diana.
Hello, everybody. I'm Diana Grippo. Some of you might know me from my Trailblazers of the Universe YouTube channel, podcast. I also do this other podcast, Life Theories, with some other people that were in the full-time purpose group that Luna talked about. So I'm an intuitive transformational coach. So I help people, transform their lives, go through spiritual awakening, just like self-improvement in general. But I overcame substance addiction, and I used to struggle with mental health a lot as well. And I think a lot of that kind of even brought me into my spiritual awakening. Actually, it did. That's what kind of caused me to have a dark night of the soul, and kind of go through a pretty dark period, but then find my light and even get into content creation and even joining the full-time purpose group that Luna discussed. So my main thing, I do mainly content, but I coach people as well. So and I do some readings. I'm getting into, some card readings. I'm kind of or I'm learning to like expand my spiritual gifts. I'm really trying to tap in more of that now, more than just content creation. I got like a level 1 Reiki practitioner certification. I want to go farther with that. And I like tarot cards as well. And I'm interested in all these different things. And I'm kind of just experimenting, just finding like what I'm drawn to, what I'm intuitively drawn to. You know, we're always changing and evolving. And so I'm just like kind of on the journey right now, but helping people on the way, raising the vibration of the planet. You know, that's what we're all here for. Light workers, starseeds, whatever title you want to use. I don't like to get too much into the title, but we're definitely here to help raise the vibration frequency of the planet, right? I mean, and expand our consciousness and help others do the same. And it's really cool how we've all branched off. Like even the people we met in the full-time purpose group, we've all met, and then we're still like adding more people that we're meeting. And it's kind of like we're all like light workers joining our light together, but we're all located in very different parts, even of the world. Like some of our friends are like in Australia. Like me and Luna are in the U.S. She's probably the closest to me. She's in Chicago, and I'm in Virginia, but I'm closer to the DC area. I'm like an hour and a half from there. So, but we're all like scattered. I think it's so cool how we've all met, and at that same time we all joined that group, and I'm still like good friends with people from that. Well, I mean, even that round that we went, we all like we're at different stages of our lives, and are really different, like in a different place than where we're at right now, but we've all like evolved with each other. I think it's really cool, and that's part of the like the unity consciousness too. You know, people are waking up to their power and realizing we have a purpose. We're not meant to just, you know, live in the matrix, work in the matrix, and we're meant to do more and like step into our purpose too. And you know, that's a journey as well.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that I felt when I joined the group, the first person that I met was Joy, the first person that I connected. And I just started
That was like the
loving her
same for
post.
me. Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, it was just her energy. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love this. And I love her. And she's just so bubbly. And then she's supportive of me. And then she was posting, and we had that little group that we had. And I think you were like the second person that I'm like, oh, I like her. Okay, let's talk more with her.
It's very natural, like how we all connected, you know, and I remember we had a challenge. We were supposed to like record a piece of content because it wasn't just like you're joining a group. Like we actually had assignments. This was like 5 days straight, right? But I got
Hmm.
so much more out of it, and I was at the time. I had just gone out of rehab not too long ago, like 4 month holistic rehab, where I was healing from addiction. And you know, I was even dating someone else at that time. And I even tried a new job in the matrix, so like a financial job that I didn't really like, and they actually let me go because it just I'm not that great with numbers. I tried something new, it didn't work out, right? So I was sitting there, I just got let go of that job that week, right when that full-time purpose was. And I always knew I wanted to do content creation, even the YouTube channel. Like I created the YouTube channel before I even created content, because even when I was in my addiction stage, like I knew that's what I was going to do. I knew, so I like reserved the name, and I didn't start uploading until like I went to the rehab. I thought it was interesting, and then that group came up. I just happened to be on my Facebook, and Aaron Dowdy really helped with my spiritual awakening and got me into meditation. Like I think back in 2017. I wouldn't say that's when I first started had my awakening, but it's a different level of it where I started getting into meditation. And because I really struggle with anxiety and mental health issues like mood swings, and the substances I was taking were not helping me. So I just wanted to calm my mind, and I that's why I came across Aaron Dowdy and started doing meditations. But that took me a while before I could even meditate, before I could even like sit and like do that. And then that full-time purpose group came up. That timing of that, I was just like sitting there bored. I didn't know what to do. I just lost the job. I just got out of rehab, and like I was like, oh man. And then I was like, I have nothing to lose. I might as well join this thing. And I like Aaron Dowdy, and the people seem very supportive and cool. And then it just kind of went from there. And then I saw I think Joy was one of the people. She wanted someone on her channel to talk about what spirituality meant to them. And so that was the first YouTube video I did with Joy, actually. And then it inspired me to do my own. I was like, oh, actually felt pretty natural. I'm not saying like I was great on camera. I'm not saying like my first videos were like that, but it felt right. But it felt like I could get more comfortable. But it felt like the right thing to do. Like for me, it's a form of therapy. It's like expressing myself and helping others, because all the experiences I went through, I didn't really have an outlet for all that energy I had, you know, when you go through something like addiction and stuff. And so that was really good for me. And that group came up. It just kind of went. And that's how I saw Cortez in one of them. Cortez looked like a friend I had that passed, and I was really drawn to his energy. He looks like exactly like one of my friends, one of my best guy friends that passed years ago. And that's why I was trying him, and then Joy, and then we all just kind of like were a big grid, and then Jay, and then even Sarah, and then yeah, it just it's so cool, and Jackie too. It's so cool. And then we all branched out, and then we all still like work together and do different things together. Even now, this is like 2 years later. I can't believe it's already been almost 2 years since then. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I remember for me, what happened was after that awakening, after I broke my arm, I actually got let go of my job. I had to get surgery, and I was an a teacher assistant at a Chicago public school.
Oh wow.
And so it was about 2 weeks left until the end of the school year. So I had told them like, "Well, obviously I can't come in." And then they had called reached back out, and I'm like, "Well, I need surgery." Like my elbow was completely detached, and I had to have surgery. So I did the surgery, but then I had to have another surgery because it still wasn't attached properly. So I had told them like, "Well, I can't come into work. Like my elbow is, like." And so, they reached back out and they're like, "Oh, well, we're not gonna continue on for next year. So you're just gonna," basically that was it. They said that they didn't have a position for me for the next school year.
Mm.
I was like, "Okay." So I'm like, "Well, I'm just gonna end up on unemployment anyways because, it's the end of the school year and we have that ability." So I was fine with it, and I had my home, and I just remember being, in the group, and I actually paid for the membership. So I am like, "Okay, let's do it." And I wasn't getting any money coming in, but I went on the payment plan, so they started taking $400 out, like, every month, and I wasn't bringing in any money, but I decided to do that, and from there, that was how I got into the Facebook group, because I was doing the challenges, and I was
Yeah.
working with that, and I'm like, "Oh, I like this. Okay, I'm gonna pay for it." Something was like, "Just pay for it," and then I went on the group, and then I realized it was a free group, and I probably didn't even have to pay.
Yeah, they had all the different courses and programs. I did buy one of the coaching programs they had. Yeah, but you can get a lot out of just the normal. I mean, if you just apply what they said, and we kind of all connected anyway, and it just went from there. And then I mean, you basically just keep practicing. That's how you learn anything. Like it becomes more comfortable. Like if you saw me my first video, sometimes I watch it just to see like my growth and stuff. It's so interesting to see even the kind of stuff I was talking about. It like was way different than what I talk about now, and just the mannerisms I had. Well, I was still healing from like addiction stuff. So being on camera, I mean, I had kind of lower self-esteem. I mean, I guess you could say because felt pretty beat down with the addiction stuff, but I did go to the rehab for 4 months. So I was feeling better. I mean, I definitely got all the toxins out of my like body. That's a big difference. But I was in no form like ready to go on camera, go start recording videos, like, but I just did it. Something like drew me, like I knew I was supposed to do this. So like, and it felt good when I talked, even if it wasn't perfect, right? And you get all the like, you start looking at yourself on video, you're like, oh, that's my best angle. You know, how girls are and stuff, and we get self-conscious. So that was another thing to like, and I mean, I still go through it with the videos I have now. Sometimes I'll pick apart something, that's how we are, it's like where society is. But just felt right to keep like expressing and helping people. And it just felt really like finally like I was on the right path. Before all the everything I did up till then just didn't feel like I was on the right path. I don't want to say I call myself an NPC, but I kind of felt like it because I just felt like so programmed into the matrix, like working and even the addiction itself. That was like a program to like, what am I gonna do in my free time? I'm gonna party in my free time. I'm gonna take substances and and even the way I act around men was way different. Just
Mhm.
everything was so different. And then once I started to do some healing and, and even from that group, like I learned more about Reiki and chakras and stuff. So I kind of branched off doing other things and I started to get some Reiki sessions done. I just started to feel a lot better. Just like energetically. It's not even just physically, just like energetically. I finally felt like something woke like had awakened inside me. So I knew that was like in alignment. And I had studied manifestation for a while before that and a little bit of law of attraction. So I mean I had some like got my feet wet a little bit, but it's really like doing the inner work yourself. Like that's a spiritual awakening. It's like it's an inside job. It's not it's just really going within, being able to sit with yourself and even like your emotions, and being able to love yourself and realize that you're like powerful, and like you're so much more than what we've been taught. It just, there's a lot of work. And then if you have trauma and all that stuff added in, I mean, it just, it's a, like, you're always evolving. I don't like to say I had a spiritual awakening. I think you're having like multiple awakenings, and then, but there's different levels to it, you know? So I think the spiritual awakening is like, yeah, you're always awakening more and more.
So
Yeah.
I have this actually, it was like a dream. Yesterday I took a shower, and as I had told you off camera, I'm trying to structuralize my show a little bit more. So I was taking a shower last night, and I'm like, okay, let me try to figure out, like, let it come to me. What is, what am I, how am I going to structuralize it? Like, let me have a dream on, an episode so I
Yeah.
can, align with that. So I had a dream yesterday, or a feeling rather, and it kind of came to me that when we go through our awakening, our rebirth, that we died in a sense.
Yeah.
And that's our death. And rather, it was a physical death that allowed us to come back because we chose to keep on going subconsciously. We made that choice that we're going to continue, and that we're not going to, just completely leave. And so what I felt was, when I did break my arm, that was me dying. I did die, but I chose to come back. And even the little things, like one day I remember I was walking and I almost got hit by a bus. And I'm just like, whoa, like I really almost died. And when that kind of happens, then we go through, we see life a different way. And, it's like a video game. So we have, our life, and we're playing our game and building our life. And if you break out of that, and basically like the matrix is here to not just program us, but it's like an option. You need a job, there's jobs programmed here.
Yeah.
You need education, there's the schools that where you can go and get the education, or you can do it all on your own, where you find the answers, you find the education, you create your own job, and you break free from that. But it's there to kind of just help and guide, and just do a layout, even like with routines. I'm thinking, we don't need a routine, live your life. But it's that structure that kind of helps, where you wake up and you have
Yeah.
your task, you
Some
complete
structure.
your
Yeah.
task.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's all about just kind of balancing the two. And so when you go through your rebirth, you're able to see your life in a whole new way. And that was kind of what I really saw, that's what happens. And so it's, what do you choose to do? We go through these, even I thought about you, like when you went through your awakening, there obviously was probably a point in your life where you were your lowest. And
Yeah.
maybe in an alternate world, that was where you died. You physically died, you mentally died, you
Yeah.
spiritually died, but you chose to keep on going because you knew that your purpose wasn't fulfilled, and that you still wanted to continue to go rather than to reincarnate and to try again.
Yeah, we've all gone through that. And even like, there's kind of like an ego death that you get, but your ego is never really dead. You need your ego for certain things. Ego is actually needed. And I think everything in life, even the matrix, when we talk about that, it's also to show like contrast. It's also to show like, okay, here's this. You could choose to do that, but there's also other ways. It just like expanding your consciousness, seeing that there's like other realities that exist, other opportunities. It just like it, and you realize the power of like where you're focusing your energy is what's creating, it's like what it's all like how you show up every day, like where you're putting your energy. So you can actually see how powerful of a creator you are, even if you're in a situation that is not pleasant. There's something you're going to learn from it. Like there's a purpose to that situation. You somehow manifested that situation, like we have to take responsibility also for the part that we play. It's not just the matrix is this, the outside world is this, there's all this dark stuff going on. We still have choices though. You can see the contrast. You need to have the good and the bad, the dark and the light. It's all about like balancing. both. And it's not even about shunning out our darkness, you know, even the healing process, a lot of it's doing shadow work. It's like sitting with your shadow, sitting with your demons even, and questioning like, hey, why is this coming up? You know, it's like having that like acceptance of yourself. And this experience in this life here, this lifetime is like a very small part of your whole existence. You know, your soul is right infinite, right? It's like this is just temporary human experience. You know, I think that's what I always get from watching the Aaron Dowdy videos. He always says you're a spiritual being having a temporary human experience, and that's what it is. And it just shows that like there's so much more than the physical. But if we're focused all on the physical and everything here and like lack and like the material stuff, like you're gonna see more contrast in that way. But if you focus more on your nourishing your spirit and stuff, that's a different reality too. Just interesting how I've watched how where my energy when I'm focusing my energy on a certain thought or a feeling and how it expands. Then I end up in a like a an effed up situation. I'm like, how do I, you know, you question like, how did I even get here? You know, it's kind of like trippy. Sometimes you're like, whoa, but I'm actually really powerful. Just like I got myself in this, I can get myself out of it too. And there are other options available to me. It's a choice. You know, we do have free will here. Like we have choices. I mean, I do believe in destiny and stuff like that, but we definitely, you have free will. You could choose to live any life you want. It's just what, where are you going to put your energy? You know, it's all about the choices you make every day, you know?
Yes, definitely. So we only have a few minutes left. So if you would like to wrap up where you can tell everybody where they can find you and any last minute remarks.
Just anybody going on a spiritual journey, you know, don't give up, and everything has a purpose. And even like your darkest moments, you know, that's where you usually have the most growth, and it's like how you handle it and just about learning and picking yourself back up and doing something different next time. Hey, this gave me this result, so you know what? I'm going to try to think and feel differently and, you know, show up differently. Just to not to give up and keep going basically. And yeah, you can find me at Trailblazers of the Universe on YouTube or podcast, or we have a Life Theories podcast too. They're all on like Spotify and Apple and Google, and then TikTok Trailblazers of Universe, and then you have a Facebook group Trailblazers of the Universe. So just look up Trailblazers of the Universe on any platform, and you'll find me.
Yeah, I do want to just thank you not only for coming on and being a great part of my life, but one of the things is, you know, knowing that we are all connected and that we are all one and we have similar stories. And me and you, we really do. We have stories that we connect with and that we bond, and not necessarily,
Yeah.
it's not a trauma bond. It's more of, hey, we got out of it bond.
Yeah, and not a lot of people did. And we're still sitting here and showing up, and we've been through some pretty, you know, dark, like similar experiences. And that's what it's about too, finding the connection. You have something in common with everybody. You know, there are forces on this planet to separate and divide us, but there's a connection with everybody in the world around you. You know, it's all one energy. It's all, but we're like, and it's about going back to that like unity consciousness, not seeing ourselves as separate, you know, from anyone.
Yeah, definitely. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Luna's Enlightenment. Feel free to subscribe. Don't forget to share our content. Reach out if you would like any services from me or my friend Diana. And always stay blessed and live your life to the fullest. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.